What you are about to hear is the fusion of entertainment and enlightenment. This is the Glenn Beck Program.
It's a new year and a new attitude. Vacation is over. As I sit back down in this chair behind this microphone, I have two monologues I want to share with you today. Part one, my mindset. What's the next 4 years going to be like? What are we going to do? Welcome back. It's time to buckle up for war. I'll explain in 60 seconds. Hope you had a great vacation. Hope you enjoyed the holidays, yada, yada, yada. I mean that sincerely. I know yada, yada, yada makes it sound like it's not sincere, but let's get to business. It is time to decide who we are. That's kind of the theme of today's program. Next hour at this time, I'm going to ask specifically who we are, because it's time to decide. But I will tell you this. It is time to give the left exactly the same thing they have been giving us for at least 4 straight years. It is time to fight. It is time to rip and claw and rake. It is time to go to war as the left went to war 4 years ago. But our playbook will be different. Now, they don't expect us to actually stand up and stand together. They believe that they can, through their algorithms, control and convince you to sit down. They believe that they can convince you that you're all alone. Well, you're not. They think that we're all going to roll over and show our bellies. They expect us to be the party of Mitt Romney. Well, I don't recognize the party of Mitt Romney. Oh, Mitt knows what it's like to lose. Yeah, he does. He's a loser. Yes. He didn't lose like Donald Trump lost. He lost because he was a bad candidate. Don't tell me no harm, no fouls. Let's move on. Let's come together. There is no coming together. I'd love to come together, but I can't. I can stand with anyone who will stand for the Bill of Rights, but that's not the left. You see, the left has a very different definition of the words come together. Joe Biden wants all of us to come together. Really? What does that mean? Submit is what that means. The only thing they have in mind is uniting the country into going into one direction, and that is theirs. No. The Constitution forbids me to go there. I talked to the president over the holiday. I'll tell you about that coming up. After I hung up, I thought there was so much more I had to say to him. He has done a ton for this country. But maybe the most important thing was reminding us that you don't have to play by their rules anymore. You don't have to cower anymore. You don't have to back down when ridiculed into oblivion. You can fight back. We just saw somebody do it. And no, I'm not going to surrender, and I'm not going to shut up. I want to take you back quickly to a few weeks after President Trump's inauguration. On this program, I revealed a smuggled document from one of the top minds and leaders on the left. Do we have that? Yeah, there it is if you're watching us on Blaze TV. This was the playbook. It's from the Clinton surrogate, David Brock. And it is a comprehensive plan to derail President Trump by any means necessary. Back in 2017, all one had to do to understand what the next 4 years would look like would read this document. Just read this. We did on the air. We told you. They put this together the weekend of the inauguration. Hillary Clinton had lost, but they had no intention of allowing Donald Trump to govern. The person America voted for was hamstrung from the very beginning. I'm going to just give you a few excerpts from their plan. See now, 4 years later, if any of this sounds familiar. Trump, quoting, will be afflicted by a steady flow of damaging information. They're still doing it. The Washington Post with the leaked audio. They have done what Project Veritas is always accused of, selective editing. The way they edited that, if you listen to the conversation and you listen for context, you'll see everything the Washington Post is claiming is yet another lie. So he'll be afflicted by a steady flow of damaging information. They're still doing it. New revelations and an inability to avoid conflict issues. The Trump administration will be forced to defend illegal conduct in court. Trump will be defeated either through impeachment or through the ballot box in 2020. Right-wing propagandists inhabiting everything from social media to the highest levels of government will be exposed and discredited. Trump allies will be forced to step down or change course. Facebook, this is their plan. Facebook will adjust its model to stem the flow of damaging fake news on its platform pages. Google will cut off these pages and their accompanying sites the access to revenue by pulling their access to Google's ad platform. That was their plan in 2017. Where is ours? The Russia hoax, the ridiculous Ukraine phone call and impeachment, the targeting of Trump allies like General Flynn, Carter Page, the social media onslaught on conservative voices. They were just following a playbook, and they did it to a T. It was all a con. This document is the equivalent of Babe Ruth calling his shot before the first pitch. Except he wanted everybody to see it. These guys don't care, but all of the people in the media and on the left, they'll protect media matters. It's been 4 years. A special prosecutor, countless court cases, impeachment. The full-on assault by the mainstream media in Silicon Valley, it never stopped. And now they want us to say, you know what? We should go back and we should just unite. We'll be together. Our spines have been feasted on by the Democrats. I'm sorry. But until you change your policies, not only am I not going to unite with you, I will fight you. Once your policies align with the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights, I'm there. But I don't think that's going to happen. Thank you, Donald Trump, for reminding Republicans that the Democrat way, the socialist Marxist way, is not the way. At least this week, he's inspired a few GOP lawmakers like Ted Cruz to stand up. Why is everybody freaking out about this? They're asking for 10 days. 10 days to do an audit. Because the only ones that have actually seen all of the information are the legislatures, the state legislatures. And legislators from all over the country have been calling Congress and the Senate saying, you cannot accept these. They railroaded them through. You cannot accept these. So what are they asking for? 10 days for an official audit. Is that too much to ask for a constitutional republic? Is that too much to ask so we could put this issue behind us? I'm sorry. The coalition of nearly a dozen senators that will refuse to certify the election results is not enough. It's not enough. This is the kind of fight that we need to demand. After everything Trump and the rest of the GOP and you have had to endure over the last 4 years, how could you not expect this to happen? Democrats and the media, oh my gosh, they're flabbergasted. Can you imagine if the situation were reversed? Can you even imagine? I don't have to. They war gamed it out. They were calling for secession, which is, by the way, the topic of my next monologue. They were calling for secession. All we're asking for is an audit. Tell me which one is unreasonable. Did they expect that Mitt Romney would just assume control? Is that really what would happen? The Democrats and the media, they're flabbergasted. Listen to Jake Tapper.
So why is it that 12 Republican senators, and I'm told perhaps as many as 140 House Republicans, will on Wednesday vote to reject President-elect Biden's win, and yet another doomed attempt to stage a bloodless coup and undermine the results of a Democratic election?
Jeez.
Do they really agree with the unhinged conspiracy theorists such as pro-Trump attorney Lynn Wood, who this weekend was insanely calling for the arrests of Chief Justice John Roberts and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell for treason, and even predicting Vice President Pence will face execution by firing squad? It's difficult, as we've noted before on this show, to distinguish in this era among those who lie for craven opportunistic reasons, those who are terrified of facing the wrath of outgoing President Trump, so they put their career survival ahead of their constitutional obligations.
Unbelievable.
Those who are not quite smart enough to understand just what they're doing, and those who have psychological needs that I'm not qualified to diagnose. What is clear is that while Joe Biden will be sworn in on January 20th, the United States is in a dangerous place.
No kidding.
With too many members of the current ruling party, the Republicans, throwing in with the Lynn Woods, siding with insanity over objective fact.
Okay, let me just say this. I don't side with Lynn Wood. I don't side with Lynn. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. What I do side with is transparency. There should be transparency. And don't you dare lecture me. What do you expect us to go back to Mitt Romney? Just, oh yeah, it's going to be great. You just think that we're just going to allow the left to move and take the country in an unconstitutional place? Don't talk to me about discrediting the Constitution and the incoming president. You, Jake Tapper, along with your allies at CNN, did that from day one with Donald Trump. And you know what? I don't care. I don't have a psychological need. I don't have a financial need. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. My family and I, we could go someplace else. I'm totally good. I'm good. You know what my need is? My need is for someone to stand up and say, no, we're not going there. It is pathetic to think that they think we're all just going to go back to usual. I got news for you, gang. You opened a can of whoop ass. You're about to get a dose of your own medicine, and it's only fair. You really think that Joe and Hunter Biden, a guy who made $17 million from 2017 to 2020, $17 million is what Joe Biden made. That's more than double what he and his wife made over 20 or 30 years. And we're just supposed to accept that everything he said about the economy was horrible. We're supposed to accept that all of that's legitimate. No, don't think so. Get ready for a fight in the courts, in Congress, in the media, in Silicon Valley. Get ready for special prosecutors, maybe even impeachment. Everywhere you can find a battlefield, you will find patriots fighting. And I'm sorry they're shocked that we're fighting the election. The attacks on Donald Trump began before he was even inaugurated. And so will ours, but ours will be truthful. Ours will be constitutional. Ours will be righteous. And yes, ours will be relentless.